Hey, what is up guys, it's TAZEDMOUSE and we are back with some Tangle Tower. Now if you noticed, I've turned off my webcam. I didn't really think it was necessary for this video. Like, most of the time it's just me just staring at the screen giving really like no actual reaction. As I usually do. Now, I think we just got done talking to the professor. Let me talk with him, let me see what else. Right.
So, which one is the Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade. Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same. A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is. I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar. Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
Point
Sally
of
probably has a
property
few
originally
eggs.
purloined by the fellows. Typical. I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends. Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
Is this important?
Possibly.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all. Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. That's rather a small cage for 3 birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage? That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put. Poppy's 2 closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there.
But who's the other girl?
These were drawn by Freya? She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary. Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me. This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know. This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license. Well now, That is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
But as a detective, it is my business.
What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
Oh my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Poppy's piano teacher was her mother?
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything, Poppy still has it up on her wall. I've seen those earmuffs before. They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front gardening.
Always wears?
Whenever I've seen him, yes. I think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue.
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
We met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me.
Yeah.
So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try.
God, whenever the hair blows, it's very ominous.
We spoke to your daughter, Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist. You must be proud of her.
Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker. Grimoire, what could you possibly be writing down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins. What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know. You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
The amount of stuff we've collected since we've last talked to her.
Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general? Have you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
Why do you have such a
Really
giraffe
thought she
neck?
was going to say something there.
This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter?
Oh, that was interesting. She has her eyes closed on that one, okay.
You haven't seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who were the other people next to you?
Possibly her siblings?
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any hobbies?
Do you recognize any of these feathers?
Do you know anything about this beetle? So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
It's not a knife. We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
That kinda makes sense, but... That's not it.
Oh wait, something which is...
That's not it. That's not it.
Do I have it? Is that...
That's not it.
Well, I can't go back, so...
That's not it. 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 That's not it.
Shit.
That's not it. We'll get to that in a minute.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Oh, the feather! Oh my god, I see it now.
The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink dip bird is red and white too? That kinda makes sense.
Alright, we're getting somewhere though.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
Oh.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
Here we go, okay.
That's not it. 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 That's not it.
Oh, right here.
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
The ink dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet.
I was thinking something else,
And
but
it
if that's the right
died?
answer, I'm not going to.
Maybe
argue
it
with
flew
that.
away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Looking for
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
All right, so she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally. This is where Flora usually keeps her feather. That's not right.
I'm like really not good at this.
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
That's not right.
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
Oh, the egg.
Thought we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty. Flora? She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not... Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
Drawings of Flora and a small bird. There's a handwritten message on the back. These are for you, love, Freya.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
That's right, and they also want us to kind of go and talk outside, but we'll do that later.
Professor Pointer's a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself.
Keeps himself to himself.
What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
It really has, actually.
I find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoiled child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse.
How does that make that
Poppy
work?
has remarkable
never
musical
mind.
talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite. Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition. No focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely. Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious. I'll say this. He's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse. But I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers. In secret.
Whoa.
Yeah, we kind of already
scandal.
found one.
I just wonder if he's getting... restless. The people here are surprisingly materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth?
She thinks we're
Some
better.
breed of
She's better than
amphibious
us.
humanoid.
But I mean, like, we're actually doing stuff. She's just out here.
Although none of the
away.
statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would. A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that. A photograph of Freya.
With the feather
Could
of the
be
knife.
important.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others, anyway.
I admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo of it.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just wanted it for reference. A diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And you haven't attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating.
This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around.
Oh, yeah, trust me, the stuff we found.
These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
I'd tell him not to quit his day job. But he hasn't got one, has he? These people really are ridiculous, aren't they? You consider that important evidence, do you? Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree, doesn't make it a clue.
Same. Yeah?
One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs. For blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
It's a very astute observation, Hawkshaw.
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh, not yet. Did you see some suspicious leaves?
Shoot the angry boy from that.
Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them. Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry. We already worked out what you're searching for.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it.
It's
The
gold.
greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He's not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse. It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on
Yeah,
microscopes.
Poppy said it herself. It's part of a telescope.
The handheld microscope is a part of a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Almost.
Yeah.
He just... The handheld microscope is a part of a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw stole it. Nope. The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
What is
I
that?
think it's a family tree.
Sounds boring. So Flora Remington. Okay, there it is. Primrose. Richard. Those are the three siblings. Buck.
A little chart of... Actually, I have no idea what it's... Kinda reminds me of a periodic table.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely fraudulent self-image, don't you think?
I was just about to say the same thing.
Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I just realized
I'm not
Officer
sure.
James is not
If you
in this
find
video.
out, maybe you can let me know. Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence.
He has,
How
like,
you like
purple
2 peas
hair.
in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants, unusual flowers mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong? Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing? Recently.
Good. It's good.
Alright, well, that was better than what I was thinking.
What's with the broken glass? Penelope's 3 favorite birds. She's very protective over them.
Are they, like, her pets? Do they have names?
Oh, they have names. Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I do not. Penelope knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about
Sure,
something.
she already did.
There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've tried in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live more than a couple of weeks. It's Fifi and Freya.
Don't you think Poppy should be in the photo too?
Maybe, maybe not. She doesn't really like crowds.
2 people isn't a crowd.
Right, but if she was in the photo, then it'd be 3.
Checkmate.
Fitz, one of these drawings is of you? In the rooftop garden, I think? With Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done? Freya's best work, in my opinion. Although, the photo doesn't carry the same energy as the real thing.
What do you think it's a painting of?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the subject matter? What's that big red thing?
Oh, I don't think it's that kind of painting. Looks like someone doesn't want you to read that book.
That's the main thing making me want to read it. This is yours, Fitz?
Yeah,
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
That's quite sweet, really. Felix made that? Huh. Those petals, they,
What?
they're red. A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to. Poppy's piano music. I remember when she started learning. She's improved a lot since then.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
Right. Of course. Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
See, that's what I try at work, but people
We
talk
found
to me
these up in the
regardless.
rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
No, could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone. I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. It's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
Is Fritz dabbling in alchemy?
Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the back, too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized.
Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Now, alright everybody, we're gonna end this episode here. Please like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see all you guys next time. Goodbye. Oh, I did it again. Damn it.